All right, with that one.
Yep.
Over the top.
Welcome to AT&T's teleconference service. Please enter your access code, followed by the pound sign.
I'm sorry? Good.
To join the conference as the host, press star. Otherwise, please enter your host password, followed by the pound sign. There are 1 participants on the call, including you. You are joining your conference as the host. For a menu of available commands, press star pound.
These clocks are off.
They are off, sir. It's only 9:28.
They come out of that holder that John made, so I'll have to figure out how to change it.
Everybody's so quiet this morning.
We're waiting for the time to pass.
Yeah, these clocks are a little fast. The official time is like
Remind
9:29.
me after the meeting, I'll see if I can figure out how to change them.
Is that the official clock?
It's the official clock.
This, yeah.
Apple time, or Garmin time.
Apple's the same thing.
I used to go by the radio once, and I was in a radio studio, and the guy says, "And the time is now," and he looked at his watch and gave the time. I thought, really? I've been setting my watch by his
By
watch.
him?
Which radio?
You're already set.
Mhm. All right, the official time is 9:30. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Here.
Mr. Franco.
Here.
Mr. Cabrera.
I am here. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, the notice requirements have been satisfied as to the time, place, and date of holding said meeting by posting notice on the bulletin board here in Borough Hall and by mailing and emailing the same to the Herald of Cape May County, the Gazette Leader, and the Press of Atlantic City on December 7th, 2022. In the event of an emergency, your emergency exit is the door that you came in, which is your back right, or your front left, or our front right. Couple quick announcements. This meeting is being shown live here today on the borough's YouTube and Facebook live stream. If you want to call in and ask a question, or if you just want to listen into the meeting, you're going to dial the conference line, which sits up here on the dais, at 888-363-4734, and when prompted, you're going to enter the access code 9699020, followed by the pound or the hashtag. If you watch the recorded version of this meeting and you have questions, you're more than welcome to email our clerk at clerk@wildwoodcrest.org or phone her at 609-729-8040. Madam Clerk, I believe we have 2 ordinances on for this morning.
Yes, sir. And the first is ordinance 1401, and it reads as follows. An ordinance of the Borough of Wildwood Crest amending and supplementing Article 3 of Chapter 40 of the Code of the Borough of Wildwood Crest, entitled Portable Vending Units of the Code of the Borough of Wildwood Crest, to permit the use of an assistant salesperson.
Motion that ordinance number 1401 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on June 21, 2023 at 5 p.m.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1401 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on June 21st, 2023 at 5 p.m.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
The next is ordinance 1402, and it reads as follows. An ordinance of the Borough of Wildwood Crest, amending and supplementing Section 85-11, definitions, and Section 85-68, accessory buildings, structures, and uses in Chapter 85 of the Land Development Ordinance of the Borough of Wildwood Crest.
Motion that ordinance number 1402 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading, and public hearing on June 21, 2023 at 5 p.m.
Second that?
It's been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1402 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on June 21st, 2023 at 5 p.m.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next, we have the resolutions. The first is authorizing amendment to the 2023 municipal budget to account for additional funding for the fiscal year 2023 Clean Communities Grant.
Motion it?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is affirming the Borough of Wildwood Crest's civil rights policy with respect to all officials, appointees, employees, prospective employees, volunteers, independent contractors, and members of the public that come into contact with municipal employees, officials, and volunteers.
Motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing grant application submission to the State of New Jersey Federal Fiscal Year 2022 State and Local Cybersecurity Grant Program for hardware, software, and services, and authorizes the mayor and borough clerk to execute the consent agreement.
Motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing a revocable licensing agreement and waiver of encroachment between the Borough of Wildwood Crest and JCC Boats, Inc., and Andrew Cicchetti for use of portion of Wildwood Crest property.
Motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing refund of mercantile license and tourism fees to Glenn B. Kimball.
Motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing waiving the fee required by application to T.J. Hunt Memorial Foundation 5K 1 mile foot race on November 23rd, 2023, from 8 to 11 a.m.
Motion it?
Oh, second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing award of the Crest Arts Pavilion Cafe lease with the provision to sell coffee on the beach at open public bidding live auction pursuant to NJSA 40A:12-14A of the Local Lands and Building Law, Borough Lease Agreement Number 2023-00.
All motion?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Lastly is authorizing the mayor to sign the certification of the updated emergency operation plan for the Borough of Wildwood Crest.
Motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that all bills properly authorized as submitted be paid.
Second that?
It has been moved and seconded that all bills properly authorized as submitted be paid. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Thanks, Trish.
You're welcome.
Okay, brings us to number 8, correspondence. We have a presentation on the lightning detection system. Mr. John Willis is here in the audience today to make that presentation.
Morning, Mr. Mayor, Committee. You mind if I bring these to you guys?
Not at all.
All right. You have one, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
I don't think I have enough. This is all
Thank you.
set. Shall I consent? No. Okay.
I will take one for the
Of course.
record. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thanks very much.
Start with the email, manager.
Thank you.
That's good?
Go ahead,
Okay.
fire away.
John Wills, representing Commercial Recreation Specialist in regards to a lightning detection system. I had the privilege of meeting some of you guys up in Brick Township, New Jersey, where they recently put in a lightning detection system. We went over the system there, and I was asked to come down. So an overview of the system is that it's fully automated and state-of-the-art and patented technology in which lightning can be detected between 5, 10, and 20 miles away from the sensor. From there, siren stations and strobe lights go off automatically to warn people that there's lightning in the area. The system itself has a built-in internal timer where it will count down 30 minutes from the last strike within the alarm zone to trigger an all clear. Completely different sound, and the strobe light turns off. From there, it'll be safe for everybody to continue on. The system simply sits on the roof of whatever building we designate in a central location, and it has a sensor that you own. You do not rent it. There's no monthly fees. You own the hardware. So it will sit on top of that building, and it'll look 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for approximately 5 to 7 years, depending on the battery life. There's no infrastructure needed with the system. It doesn't need Wi-Fi. It doesn't need cellular service. It is all your own equipment. Infrastructure at the beaches that we spoke about would require a mounting location for the siren station that has the horns in the strobe. It does not require AC power. It runs off of solar and battery backup. So it's a truly standalone system that it's not a set and forget though. It's a set, teach everybody, learn the system, and respect it because it's not wrong. It doesn't have a way of making a false alarm. It needs two different things between the flash of light and also the wavelength that gets discharged from a bolt of lightning. Those two things combined says that there's lightning. And then the time determines how far it is away from the sensor. So that's the long or the short of it of a lightning detection system. It's very, very technical. We could go through all that, but at the end of the day, it's a system that goes up, it sees and feels the lightning, it lets you know that there is lightning, and it does whatever you want it to do, meaning between the hours of 8 in the morning and 8 at night, the horns will go off. But at 8:01, the horns won't go off anymore if you choose. We always recommend that the strobe light stays on 24 hours a day. God forbid there's a storm in the middle of the night, somebody's on the beach, at least the light will blink and give them some sort of notice. You guys are looking through the packet and quotes there. There's a few different things to bring to your attention. Like I said, the system is standalone and it doesn't require outside sources. That being said, it does require yearly checkups and maintenance to make sure it's functioning, typically before lightning season, so before Memorial Day for you guys most likely. You want to go around, check the system. There's maintenance plans that we offer, as well as we help with any OSHA regulations that are coming down that Brick had to do as well. The system has all battery backups. Like I said, they get changed yearly. The system gets tested yearly, as well as we always recommend that the staffing that typically would check the AEDs monthly go around and just check to make sure that the system is flashing. There's a green light that tells you that it's working. Other than that, it's a pretty much standalone system. You can see, unfortunately, we're down in Wildwood. A lot of our customers are throughout New Jersey, up mostly in like Bergen County, closer to New York. There's a map that'll show you what the detection actually looks like. And if you're familiar with North Jersey, you could have as many siren stations within 2 miles of that sensor on your roof, and it starts seeing lightning as the alarm mode at 5 miles. However, with a beach, we set every beach so far that we have done to 10 miles to give lifeguards the opportunity to get everybody out of the water and to safety. So you could see these rings of the red 2 miles. Those are where the siren stations go. 5 miles is the first alarm, 10 miles, and then the green is the 20. So it can see very far.
Let me just jump in for 1 second.
Absolutely.
Kind of tell our commissioners and the public the purpose of this, what triggered it. In fact, we came up to Brick Township the week of May 9th. Chief Lloyd, Chief Johnson, and I looked at the lightning strike system. We were all very impressed with it. There were a number, and I say it wasn't a gigantic number, thank God, of lifeguards that were struck by lightning. And what we're trying to do is to avoid that situation. And for the price of this and the price of a life, I feel that, and I'm sure we all feel that it's good to protect our citizens and our lifeguards. So that's what's triggering this system. I didn't think it was overbearing or anything that we couldn't really try to do. I'd also like to put one of these systems by the bay to warm the kayakers and the swimmers out there. And the system that we're proposing to put in has that 2-mile reach, so that wouldn't be a heavy lift at all.
Correct.
We'd
Yes.
be able to do that too.
Yep. And you can add on to the system in the future, so if there's a different beach that you want to cover, you can just add siren stations on at any time. So let it be the bay or more beachfront, you can do that.
And the solar panels
Correct,
to
yeah.
run
So-
the program.
Yep, solar panels run everything, so again, you don't need infrastructure, you just need a place to mount the siren stations, and that's it. And to give you an idea, that Brick, New Jersey, they did it on 6x6 posts. Ortley Beach did it on their lifeguard building. Berkeley did it on their lifeguard building, so it could pretty much be mounted anywhere. Preferably not a metal pole, though, it's a lightning rod.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
So Brick had a problem that triggered them to get a system, correct?
Berkeley did.
Okay.
Yeah, Berkeley. So South Seaside Park, Berkeley, New Jersey is where the lifeguard was struck and killed.
How many total systems do you have out there?
In New Jersey, about 106.
Any difficulties with them? Any problems? Anything?
Well, I mean, it's technology, right? And it's sitting outside every day for every year, every moment through the storms. It's not that there's difficulty with the system, it's more that it has to be maintained, it has to be checked. It's this piece of safety equipment, so if you put it up there and forget about it and people think this is protecting me and nobody services it or checks on it yearly, it's a liability at that point. So it's just like anything else. You don't want an AED with a dead battery, you don't want a lightning detection system with no power or no backup battery. So as far as the technology itself, no, it's very solid. This system has been in effect for over 20 years. Like I said, the sensor itself has been patented, so it does detect lightning. It does not predict, it doesn't guess, it doesn't use the internet, it doesn't use an app, it uses the sensor that is right on that building.
What's the timeline from the time we give the okay to getting it functional?
Well, it depends on the manufacturer, of course, and what their lead times are. This system here, when I spoke to you guys when you were up, we were shooting for, the beginning of July, but that was the beginning of May. So extrapolating that out, probably late July to early August to have it installed.
Very good. I know you're just getting this information put in front of you.
Yeah. It is on state contract also. I don't know if you saw that on the other page, so it kind of makes it a little easier for you guys as well.
Any questions for me?
How loud is it?
It is loud. These guys heard it firsthand at Brick, and they also sent the lifeguard about a mile away, and they were also able to hear it. So it's hard to say it's going to go this amount of distance, right? If you have 10,000 people on the beach and it's windy and there's a lot of surf, it's not going to go as far as if it's a perfectly quiet and calm day. There are 185 decibel speakers. You could have up to 4 on the system here. We quoted for 2 after seeing Brick. They get pointed directionally, and they can go off for approximately 30 seconds each. So it covers the sound. It's almost like the first sound is more like a police siren for the alarm, and then the all clear is like a foghorn sound. So there's no problem determining what is what. And it's just a way to point at for your lifeguards to say, hey, it went off, now we have to start doing something, rather than just looking at the sky or their phone.
So the other purpose of this is to take out human error. With right now, the way the beach patrol functions is if a lifeguard would see a strike of lightning, he would report to the zone lieutenant. Then the zone lieutenant would report it back to the chief to make a determination whether we're going to pull or not. Now you have to remember, we have 200,000 people on that beach, 150,000. I mean, there's a ton.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a little you feel a little apprehensive to say you gotta get off the beach.
Right, and this does take that guesswork out, and it allows that delay to go dramatically down. So if a lot of locations, municipalities, not just beach locations, they do town ordinances that pass and say, when you hear this and see this, this is what you do. Brick implemented that one chance policy, so if people are refusing to get off, they'll note them, and then they have a form for that, and then they leave. They don't want to put their own lifeguards in danger. So the system will it will go off, and what typically happens up in North Jersey, it's on baseball fields, football fields, soccer fields, right? And parents yell at coaches, kids want to play, and now they just say, it's going off, this is the rules, this is the policy of the town, you have to get off, it's for your safety.
I can reach out to Brick's administrator who turned us onto this and
Mhm.
see if they have a policy in place, and we can emulate that if you wish.
That sounds great, whatever we can do.
Okay,
Um,
I'll make a.
And
I'll
I
make
forgot
a
to
call.
mention our Little League field too, because
Sure.
we go through the same thing. I just think it's another tool in our belt to help our community be safe.
I completely agree, absolutely.
So I have one question. The amount is $44,000 for
Yes.
one unit. We're trying to do two.
No, that's
No, that's
everything.
total.
It's three. I believe I wrote it up from when we spoke at Brick. So what it is, there's a piece of paper that kind of looks like this, a sketch drawing of the system in your folders, a
Okay.
line
It's
drawing.
a lot, so I'm just.
Yeah, no, I apologize. So what it is if you guys find this piece of paper here.
This?
Yes, sir. Right, so if you find this piece of paper, this drawing of what the system, this is the basic layout for you. So it says number one, strike guard sensor. That detects lightning. You see that on the roof there in red? And then you follow a fiber optic cable down to the strike guard lightning data receiver. That crunches the data, right? That detects the lightning. From there, it goes to the wave transmitter number 3, and that sends the signal to the beaches wirelessly to the siren stations. So I understand your point where we want 3 of these. You only need 1 sensor and data receiver and transmitter. The remote siren stations can be positioned all over Wildwood Crest, at the bay, by the beach, Little League fields, wherever you would like, as long as it's within 2 miles of that sensor. Does that make more sense? A little?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So Crest is about 2 miles long.
Yes.
So on the beach side, you need how many on the beach side? Just one or?
We're gonna take a ride on the beach after this
Correct.
meeting to see exactly what we need to set out there.
Right. This quote lists 3 siren stations and 1 sensor. So if you picture in Wildwood Crest, cut it in half at a mile, right? Stick the
Rambo
sensor.
Road, where the beach patrol is.
There you go. Stick it on the beach patrol building, and now you have 2 miles in any direction of that sensor
Right.
that you can put the siren stations.
And this quote is specific to the Crest. It's not island-wide anymore, because the last time I heard it, we were talking.
Yeah,
Correct.
this is-
No,
right,
it's
that's
just
it.
you guys.
Okay.
Oh.
So there wasn't a shared service with this agreement. I know that
No.
was discussed before. It's not.
No.
Okay.
It is not. It is just Wildwood Crest.
But also, that was a higher number too, doing it as a shared
This is a
service.
different, this is a different
Totally
system.
different.
And is there a service contract with,
We do have service contracts,
in other words,
absolutely.
I don't want like our staff to be
Of course.
responsible for making sure this equipment's working. You guys
No,
have a service
absolutely. We
contract?
come yearly. It's a 3-visit service agreement that we come and test and change batteries every single year. You get a written report to tell you what's going on with the system. Outside of that regular maintenance of batteries and checking it, the system is pretty much bulletproof for the first few years, about 3 to 5 years before you start seeing it wear on something that's been outside for all day, every day. And then it's just called an advance exchange. So the manufacturer just refreshes the system, takes your old stuff back for a tenth of the cost.
Okay. Is there any other additional costs that we're not aware of that may not be on this quote?
No.
We would be like electric runs or
Nope, not at all.
engineering fees or anything like that?
Not at all.
Okay.
And the engineer is going, are you sure about that? No, there really isn't. You don't need AC power. You don't need anything. The only thing that we ask from you guys is you provide the location in which we're going to install. So if that's on the beach, on a post, by the building, we need access to those locations, and we need that post installed prior to us arriving.
Okay. All right, so if you guys are to take I mean, I would, if one of those 3 locations could be on the west side, that would be, I'd like to see that happen.
Absolutely.
Sunset Lake.
That was the goal.
Yeah, and Mr. Mayor, if you look there where it says Wildwood Beach 1, 2, 3, those numbers to the right, those headings in bold, that is a siren station. So where it says Beach 1, Beach 2, Beach 3, those are each individual siren station. So if you ever wanted to add another one, say we really should do it, it's just that number, those numbers right there. It's very simple math.
John, one of the questions I forgot to ask you was, if we find that the volume is awfully loud, we don't need it that loud, say, can we adjust back?
Yes, you can. It's attenuated, so you can, it's from essentially 2 to 100. So it knocks down the decibels. Typically, we don't see that ever needed to happen outside. That's more of an inside place. So day camps, they
Yeah.
put a horn inside and we turn it down. So, yeah. Never outside have I been asked to turn it down.
Okay. All right, so Madam Clerk, anybody have more questions?
There's sales tax on here, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
because we didn't have the form. I apologize. We can't take it off without the form.
Yep,
Can we slide this under old business?
absolutely.
And then we can come back to it. I think Francine, who's on vacation, would need to weigh in on dollars.
She, I'm not speaking for her, and I have no problem with that. We went through some of this. We have them there.
Okay. And then if just, I may have some additional, I just didn't get a
Sure.
chance to digest it, just some additional follow-up questions. I'll address them to Chief Lloyd.
Absolutely.
Or to you directly, and then
It's
if I
not a
have any,
problem.
I'm just.
No,
I
absolutely.
just need to go
Please,
through
by all
this.
means. It's a different piece of technology that people don't usually think of, and I'm here to answer your questions now or whenever you think of them. My cards are all in those packets, so you can feel free to call.
Cool. Anybody else? Questions?
I'm good for now. Thanks, John.
All right.
Thank you.
John, thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right, moving on to public comments. We'll start with anybody here in the audience. If you have any public comments, please come up to the podium and give us your name, and feel free to ask your question.
Morning. Get my notes.
Came prepared. iPad,
Yeah,
everything.
well, you know, it's just notes. It's not up here anymore. My name is Maria Crawford. We are residents at 202 East Hollywood Avenue, Wildwood Crest.
We don't need your address.
Okay.
Yep, but thank you.
Okay. Okay, so my family and I have been vacationing in Wildwood Crest for 35-plus years and decided long ago that this was the place that we would want to buy a second home for us, our children, and our grandchildren. And we were fortunate enough to do that about 4 years ago. So it's been great, it's been wonderful. Went to the beach Memorial Day weekend, walked onto the beach, and sort of, for me, everything changed. There was a flag on the beach that was obscene. It was the size of a regular flag. It was underneath, on the pole, like all the flags, underneath the American flag. And it was just as large. And the top half of the flag, embroidered boldly, had an F and a K. And then between the two was the American flag. And then on the bottom half of the flag, it said Biden, which, you know, I don't care who it says. It's, at that point, not a political flag. It's just vulgar. So I was very upset. I had my grandchildren with me, my family, whatever. I was very upset. I didn't even sit in my chair. I went right from the boards to the people with the flag and just expressed my displeasure. And asked what they suggest I explain to my grandson, who would definitely, a 4-year-old asks a million questions. What does that mean? What does the F and the K mean with the American flag? And then as I got closer, in script underneath, it was written out. It said, and F you, but the word was written out, and F you if you voted for him. So, you know, I just, you know, the gentleman obviously didn't want to engage, whatever. So I just went back to my seat. A couple of minutes later, I called the police just to have somebody to talk to and tell about this. They were wonderful. I did see a car come down to the beach and look at the flag. And then a few minutes later, he called me and stated that there was no ordinance that he could cite to approach the man and ask him to take the sign down. He could possibly suggest it because the word was written out at the bottom, but then the guy would just have to agree, and of course, that wasn't gonna happen. So, no, I just thanked him. He suggested that, I could come here to just bring it up, so that's why I came here. So at this point, it was basically a denigration of the flag. I don't care. Obviously, you could wear it on your shirt. You could display it at your home. You could tattoo it on your body. But why am I sitting on a public beach looking at this? It's unavoidable. You're just sitting there, and it's like huge and right in your face, and it's just a denigration of the flag, and it's obscene. And as I see it, it's only going to get worse as we enter the political season towards 2024. So the reason I came today is if it's possible to ask for an ordinance to be written that bans signage, including flags, with obscene language, either written or inferred. Just like some of the ordinances that we see, no alcohol, no smoking, no vaping, no dogs, no whatever, that people have to abide by. So the basic problem here was that nothing could be done because there was no ordinance to cite, and I'm just asking if that could be remedied.
Okay? So I would think that, so I did receive an email complaint about, I'm going to assume it's the same one that you're talking about.
Okay?
And I think we're going to it's going to take some time to do some
Yes,
review, because
I understand.
there's constitutional rights, there's freedom of speech, there's
Understood.
all of that have to be, weighed in. Honestly, I'm just being honest, I don't think that that's going to happen in the middle of summer, because it usually takes about 2 months. By the time the decision is made, if a decision is made to do that, it takes at least 2 months. So I don't think it's going to happen for this summer.
Okay.
And I think that our solicitor, Mr. Galzunas, is going to have to really dive into the details of this, just to see if it's possible.
Right, exactly.
So anyway, I think I made a suggestion. We received a similar complaint last year. The cleanest, easiest way is to say, hey, there's no flags at all permitted on the beach. And that would, I know a lot of people like to fly their college flags or whatever it is that they want to fly. And I don't think that would make people too happy. So I think this one's it's gonna be take some time. It's gonna be details need to be studied and addressed, and just allow us the time to do that.
Of course.
We'll have an answer hopefully by the end of the
I
summer.
do, I understand First Amendment rights,
Yeah.
but it just seems wrong in a public setting.
Understood. Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Anybody else in the audience? Anybody on the conference line have any public comments? Hearing none, we're going to move to new business, old business. If nobody has anything to report, we're going to move right along. I don't have anything personally. Does anybody have anything they want to go over with old business?
We're good.
Good, all right, so we'll bring us up to the last round of public comments.
Hello, Catherine Hughes. I have 3 things. I'm commenting about the splash pad and the workout area. Is it going to be resurfaced? There is black mold that is there, and there's chipping of the paint. I called last week to Public Works about it. I gave my name and my phone number. No one returned. But I just have a concern with it because it does not look appealing, and I don't think it is the cleanest when you go and look at it. The foot water station doesn't work on them as well. Also in that area, in the workout equipment by the splash pad, there's padding that is torn, that is ripped as well. There are no bike pedals either. Was wondering if it was going to get looked at. It's been like that since the fall. Have a question about the lifeguard building as well. Is that under construction for this entire summer?
The answer is, it will be, yes.
It will be. Where will our lifeguards headquarters be?
Right now, we are stationed right behind the building in the Nesbitt Center.
What are we doing with that center then? Can people still go there, or is that strictly for lifeguards now?
So,
First aid
Like, you know,
station.
because that used to be the information center where
Yeah.
people could go to.
That's not
that's
there
now in the
anymore.
arts, that's in the arts pavilion.
Okay. Everybody that is put in, information is placed?
Yeah, everything's
Where it
there,
is?
all the
Okay.
documentation,
All
everything.
right. Are the porta potties moved from where that said information center was?
We have regular bathrooms there that are
There is a
operational.
porta potty that is there, that sits there all year and winter long. And sadly,
Front of
us
us?
at local
Yes,
have
it
to
is.
use that
Oh, okay.
facility. We're
Yeah,
not,
That's in, that, so you were talking about the one that's in right, directly in
At
front of the
the
Yeah.
center?
center.
That generally gets removed.
It gets removed.
does it get
Yeah,
removed?
for the
Okay,
summertime.
all right.
That's
Are
only-
the
that's only-
bathrooms
It's
on?
only for the winter when our bathrooms
Yeah,
close,
I
'cause
know,
people
it's a
along the
shame.
bike path needs a place to go.
Well, and so do women who have children to do
Yeah.
diapers and everything else. We'd
Right.
like to actually have a facility that locals could use in the wintertime, or, you know,
That's
it's,
what we do the porta potties, because our bathrooms are
But
not-
there's
they have
also
to be
children
winterized,
who
they're
are-
not, they don't have heat, so we can't.
but there's also
use
children
them.
with the school that are always over there, and sadly, they have to use the porta potty that is also filled with beer cans, just to let you know. Will
Okay,
the
so-
splash pad be
Let
done
me-
this
let me-
year?
Yeah, let me go, you had 3 things, so you
Yep.
mentioned about 7 things, so let me just go over the first 2. Splash pad is on schedule to be pressure washed,
When?
Yeah.
tomorrow. So we have that on the schedule. The
Okay.
resurfacing
Make
will
sure I
not
know.
happen until after the fall. We're waiting
Why
for the
wasn't
funding.
it done? It was like this last year. Is there a
Because we
reason?
took, because the padding that goes on there, that paint, is a different type of paint, and getting the right weather to happen, it's not better to do it in the fall where you have the crisp, dry days as opposed to the rainy, wet days. So it's scheduled, hopefully, we applied for a grant to do that. We're waiting to hear back if we got the
Do
grant.
we need grant money to do that? Can't
Well,
we just use
I
our
think-
own money that we collect through taxes
Well,
and
it's
substantial
to
amount.
research? It's that much money?
It's about 75,000, 80,000.
To do it every year, to
Yeah.
resurface it?
Every year.
Yeah, you don't want to do it every year.
This is our 3rd year that we've had the splash pad, though.
Right.
And you have to do it every year?
No. No, we're looking at a new product that's gonna hopefully last longer, so we just need to get through the summer. We're gonna keep it as clean as we possibly can for the summer. Come back to it in the fall when it's the right time to paint, and then, when I say paint, it's not really painting, it's more of a coating, and then put it in that way. So that is in the pipeline for it being addressed.
Okay. What about the workout equipment?
The workout equipment, the pedals were vandalized at the fall of last year. I'll check to see, I believe the pedals were taken off over the winter time. As to keep that, I'll see if we have them. If not, they're gonna have to be ordered. I'll just have to check on that.
Can I ask us why us as local citizens don't get it all year round?
Get what all year round.
We can't have bike pedals to use, or the
It's-
padding, you know, like.
It's
I-
possible that, it's possible they're here and they just haven't been installed yet. I'll
Okay.
check on that. I don't have the answer sitting here right now, but I can certainly find out. But the
Okey-dokey.
answer is that I know they were vandalized last year, and I thought that we had ordered the new pedals. And/or if I recall correctly, they may not make the new pedals. The manufacturer maybe had to order a new pedal bike to go in there. Everything is on back order, so we're waiting for a shade structure as an example for about 3-4 months now. So
Can we put trees instead of a shade structure?
at a tennis court? Or-
Well, I'm saying,
No.
at the whole park, you know, by your workout station and everything.
No, we're not talking about there, he's
Hi?
talking about a shade structure at a
Yeah.
different.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. That's fine. So when will our lifeguard building be done?
That's a great
December. That
question.
December,
Ending
January.
date should be December, so we're working through the
So we'll
process.
be ready for our 2024 lifeguards?
Should be.
Okay, and what about the pool roof and the pool closing?
August 15th to October 15th, approximately.
What is getting all completed there?
New roof, new translucent panels on the peaks, pool's gonna get drained, resurfaced, and new pool surfacing.
Will they have new programs
They have new
for the
program.
pool?
Do you have an
Will
idea
be
of what program or
upgraded? Well, I was
something?
just curious because they have we would like to see more family time for like open swims. That's the only time families with underage children can go.
Okay.
Also, the idea of We live on an island and we're surrounded by water. I really think we should consider, for a safety point of view, to have swim classes for children
We
under
do.
the age of 5. They do not have them. And I think they should really be offered to us as locals, too, especially the school systems.
I thought they did, but I can be wrong, I could be wrong on that. You said
Not
under
if you're
5?
under a specific age, and no.
Okay.
And just say, this is where
But-
we live, and we are,
But that, I think
and
there are
us
lessons
as
available
individuals should
though,
have
right?
it.
You're saying free
They
versus.
don't. They really don't
No, what I'm
have.
saying is
If I
that-
go to the pool and I was trying to look for,
Can I just
It's
interject
fine.
for 1 second?
Yeah.
Are you saying to me that our certified lifeguards, our water safety instructors, do not offer lessons for children under 5?
no.
No, they don't.
I've tried, no.
Okay.
They only offer them in like the summertime. I've been a member before. I haven't been a member for 2 years, but trying to get a lesson for a child who was 1 to 2 years old, it was not offered. They were like, you have to wait till the summer. And as us as locals, we work all summer long. It's not an option
Well,
to be
so you have to
capable
have,
of
you have
doing
to have
it.
a certain certification for that, to teach kids, so that it
Sure.
may be as a result of the instructors not coming
Of
back
course.
until summertime.
That's fine. Yep, these are just concerns, and I'm just wanting to see if something could be done.
right.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Today is Global Running Day, by the way, in case anyone cares.
We did it.
We're all good.
Okay. Anybody else have any public comment before we go into new business? And old business, that's actually the last round of public comments.
Yeah, you wanna
Anybody
take
on the
your phone?
conference line have any public comments? All right, we're gonna move right into commissioners' comments. Starting with,
I got it. We'll go. First of all, we had a great holiday weekend. I want to thank Public Works, Police Department, the beach patrol that you just brought up. We are working under conditions that are a lot different than we were used to, and that went smoothly. So I'm really proud of the beach patrol and the way we operated. Sometimes people don't understand all the work that we do as a community, as our different departments, to get ready for these weekends, to get ready and moving forward. And sometimes it's easy to pick on things that, hey, we might have not been able to get to, but we do our best to make everything happen in a really positive way. We work as a team. The three of us all together, of course, we all work together, and that's what it's all about, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
thank you.
I'll just be quick. I know Mayor Cabrera will touch on this. The creative or the arts pavilion is opening June 16th at 5 o'clock. So I think every resident is welcome to that. It's going to be I think it's going to be a great event. I also want to say thank you to our volunteers. Our volunteers do an excellent job. So I get a chance to oversee a few boards within the borough, and they go above and beyond what in my opinion, a volunteer should do. So I just wanted to say thank you for that and have that on the record. And also, the following day, the 17th is Create in the Crest, the second annual one. That is in Centennial Park from 9 to 1 p.m. So we're looking forward to a good summer, and if you guys are around, please check out those two events. That's me.
Okay, as I mentioned, today's Global Running Day. Get out there, get active, move, walk, bike, whatever you want to do. And yes, I just want to reiterate, the grand opening for the Arts Pavilion is June 16th at 5 o'clock p.m., complete with face painting, entertainment, all kinds of fun stuff for a fun evening night plan. I know that's country music weekend as well, so come in your best country western attire if you may. I may have a cowboy hat on, don't hold it against me. That said, yes, I want to also congratulate the municipal staff for all their hard work to get through Memorial Day weekend. It was a very busy weekend. I know when can't find a parking space all the way over on the west side where I live, I know a lot of people are in town. And lastly, I want to welcome Beach Brew USA to the Arts Pavilion. Congratulations on winning the award. We look forward to a long-standing relationship and some excellent and tasting coffee and ice cream and all the good things that you have planned. And thanks for being a partner with the Borough of Wildwood Crest. That said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Second, Trish.
All in favor?